Um, Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope that you're all fine and happy. Um, I hope that we're all excited about the lesson today. It is 2 o'clock on my watch, and I know that we are currently live on YouTube. So I hope everyone on YouTube is well and happy. It's good that we are all on here on time and ready for the lesson. I hope that we also have our stationery ready and whatever that we need ready. So yesterday um, we looked at shapes, right? We looked at geometric, not really looking at shapes, but we looked at geometric patterns and also what we call symmetry. What is symmetry? What is a line of symmetry? And we also yesterday we tried to for ourselves within the lesson see how can we see the lines of symmetry, can are we able to tell what how what does it mean that a shape is symmetrical. Also we looked at the types of geometric patterns, that there's one that is a repeating pattern and there's one that is a growing pattern, and that a pattern can either be shapes or numbers. So we looked at that yesterday. That was yesterday. Today, what we're going to look at now is multiplication. And what is important about multiplication is that we are going to try to understand what does it mean that when we multiply. And because remember last week we did for the whole week we did division, and we understood division, we got division, we're happy, we're settled with division. So this week, what is important is that we go over the concepts that we've been doing all a while. So I heard that you guys did multiplication, so we're going to touch on multiplication again. We're going to touch on subtraction again, no addition again. We're going to touch on all of these things that you guys have already done, that we can see whether that have you guys understood or not, and how can we refine it, how can we better it, how can we make sure that tomorrow when you guys are doing your when you guys are doing the maths and everything, you are at a point where you understand and are able to do it. Because remember, what I always tell you guys is that maths is a skill. So it's very important that you practice the skill. And if you do not practice the skill, it becomes a problem. How does it become a problem? You do not get enough time to keep it locked in your mind. Because how the mind works is like this: you do something, your brain keeps the procedure, the process, everything within it and locks it in as part of its structures, as part of what it is. And it keeps that way of thinking within it. But for the brain to have something and keep it and store it into long term memory, it needs to be practiced daily, needs to be practiced every single day. That's why, even if you look, guys, some of you have baby brothers and sisters. When you're teaching them their name, the reason how they learned their name is that every single day you kept on telling them their name. So, for that to happen, you need to practice every single day, that it gets stuck within you and that you have the skill. So that even later on, when you're 150 years old, and someone is to ask you how to multiply 44 with 66, you are able to do it because you have the skill, you have it, you possess it, it's within your mind. And now you're able to take that you write on paper and have it in here. Then once it's part of now your mental, now it's part of a mental structure, you're able to now able then you're able to just look at a sum and say, oh, 5 times 2, 10, because it's now in here. Now we're dealing with something that is locked in the mind. But for that to happen, you need to practice every single day. I put 2 arrows by the 2 ways that you guys can contact me. You can either get me through Twitter, which is direct message, or you can send me an email. Any one of the two, I'm happy. Yeah, so let us get into our lesson. It's time for us to go into our lesson. It's time for us to learn. And yeah, so all I'm saying is that, guys, here are the 2 ways that you can contact me. via either Twitter through direct message or email. You can drop me an email and then we can communicate so that I can know that you guys understand. And if you have problems, please do talk to me, communicate with me. Whether you understand something, you don't understand something, speak to me so we can resolve the problem whilst it's still early. All right. So we're looking at vertical multiplication and we're going to do a lot of practical examples. So now when we speak about multiplication, what are we speaking about? When we say we are multiplying, so multiplication is repeated addition, right? When I say that, I would like you guys also just to have this down in your books. When I speak about multiplication, I'm speaking about repeated addition. And repeated addition is that I have 5 times 2, right? Let me put it here. 5, oh, sorry. Right, 2 times 5. It's going to give us the same answer. I have 2 times 5, right? So, sorry about that. Having 2 times 5, I know that I am going to be adding 2 5 times. That's where the times part comes from when we speak about multiplication. The multiple times that you, like the amount of times that you, or the amount of 2's that I'm going to write is going to match the times that I'm speaking about. That's multiplication. How many times I'm adding it. So when I say 2 times 5, it means I'm saying 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Right. So it's 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. How many 2's do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where the times 5 is, or 5 times comes from. And then let's count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So the answer here, 2 times 5 is equal to 10. So in other words, we're saying that when you add 2 5 times, you're going to get 10. That is multiplication. That is multiplication. Multiplication. That's why it even comes from the word multiples, come from multiplication. When we think about multiples, remember when we're doing multiples, we're adding the same number those times. So multiples saying, okay, multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's what the multiples of 2. How do we see the multiples? All you're doing is plus 2. So it's 2 plus 2 gives me 4, plus 2 gives me 6, plus 2 gives me 8, plus 2 gives me 10, plus 2 gives me 12, plus 2 gives me 14, plus 2 gives me 16, plus 2 gives me 18, plus 2 gives me 20, plus 2 plus 2. That's multiple. So it works all in all together. That's why if you understand multiples, it also helps you when we're doing long division. But that's something I'll show you also. But I think I did show you. But when we do it again to as revision, I'll show you again also in long division when we speak about the multiples. I hope we have done writing this down here. Can I just get a notification in the chat that we can get what, a notification in the chat that we can get whether you guys are finished writing this down, just this top part here. That's what I want you guys to have with you. You can also, as I say, there are many ways, since we're dealing with technology, to take information down. But those who are good, who like the pen and paper, like myself, you have some time now just to quickly jot that down. You have some time now just to quickly jot that down. Excuse me. You have some time now just to quickly jot that down. Good. Yes, so you have some time just to quickly jot that down. What is multiplication? When you are multiplying, what are we talking about multiplication? multiplication. Why am I starting with this? It's important that you have the basics. When you understand the basics, then now we can go into the more difficult parts about multiplication. Because the only difference, especially when we're dealing with two-digit multiplication, the only difference that there is when we're dealing with two-digit multiplication is that now we start speaking about something of place value. We start speaking about place value, but that I'll elaborate later on. I'll speak about it more later on. But now here, what important is for you to understand the basics of multiplication, which is repeated addition. Once you have that in your mind, that's now when you start now being able to speak about the other things. You having the basic already with you. Right. I hope that we are done. I see that majority of you are done. Right. I won't rush, but I see most of you are done. I'll give you guys 1 more minute. Let me take 1 more minute. All right, 12 minutes past 2. That's when I will continue. Just quickly jot that down, and then we move into the explanation that I want us to do. And then we're going to try some questions, and then we see, because I'm going to give also guys a chance that you guys get to explain how do you get something as well. So I think you have about 30 seconds left just to have this in your books. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. So it's very important that you must know your times tables, guys. Why? What happened here? Something's going on. Right. So it's very important that you know your times tables, guys. Very important. Why is it important? It makes the process easier. It makes it easier, and you get to, as I say, remember it. It gets stuck in your mind. Then you start able to do the multiplication. Instead of always having to write it down, you're able to do it just thinking, to say 13 times 3, 39. You see, like that. So that it must be stuck in your mind. That's why you need to always also be practicing and jotting down your times tables. What is 2 times 1? 2. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 3, 6. 8 times 5, 40. 8 times 6, 48. It's always very important to know your times tables. And you can find them on the internet, guys. You can download them. Your times tables are everywhere. Even in your classes, I know it back at school. One way or another, there has to be a chart of times tables. I know that for a fact. But that's fine. Let's move on. So when we speak about multiplication, we've got a multiplicate, we've got a multiplier, and we've got a product. The multiplicate is the number being multiplied. That's the number that you are using for the repeated addition. The multiplier is the one that helps us speak of the times, to say how many times are we going to add the multiplicate. Then the product is just the result or the answer of it. For example, my multiplicate here is 8. So if I am going to show this out in repeated addition, and I'm speaking about it 2 times, because that's what the multiplier is asking for us. It is what? 8 plus 8. It is 8. All right. Let me just sort this out. All right. So it's 8 plus 8. Repeated addition, which gives us what? 16. Because it speaks about what? It's saying, let's multiply 8 2 times. Let's multiply 8 2 times. And what do we get? We get 8 plus 8 is 16. That's how the multiplier and the product work. That's why if you go back and say, okay, but when you swap it around, you still get the same answer. True. Where you say, what's this? Where we say 2 times 8, right? When you swap it around, you say, no. Let me swap around the multiplicate and the multiplier. Let what was the multiplier become the multiplicate, and what was the multiplicate become the multiplier. It's just that now the difference is that now what are you going to use for repeated addition? You're going to be using the 2. And what are you going to be, how many times are you going to be multiplying it or adding it rather, is what? 8 times. So it's going to be 2 plus, sorry about that. It is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 plus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 2 plus, sorry about my 2. That's what you do it. Saying 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all of that equals to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That is multiplication. That is multiplication. Multiplication, at the end of the day, is just repeated addition. Once you have that, then you can do the other thing. So let us now, please write this down so we can go, and then at least you can try 1 or 2 examples. And I hope we are grasping, because what's important here, I want you guys to ensure that you understand. So once you're able to understand the basics, I can move into other things. Right, so just write multiplicate, multiplier, product. Write all of this quickly. You don't have to write down the example here. Just stick to this one, this part, and this part. So this top part here and this part here. Quickly for 2 minutes. Write that down so we can actually go into examples now. Then once after we go into examples, then we are going to try some sums together, and then I show you your homework. And then depending on the lesson today, it will determine is, are we going to do it tomorrow, or we move on to multiplication, to division. But this will be depending on whether you've understood multiplication today. All right, I see a lot of people are done. It's fine. Can still use the quick 2 minutes just to, for those who are, as I say, still with me about the pen and paper. Those who are with me with still the pen and paper method. Yes, so it's good. It's awesome. Multiplicate, multiplier, product. What has multiplying this produced? Product. That's where the product part comes from. The answer, some call it the result. All right, awesome. 30 seconds left. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. So as I showed you guys earlier on, that multiplication is repeated addition. But I want us to look at this one. Let us talk about this quickly. So now I'm dealing with, I'm just a bit hot. Let me just take off my jacket. Right. So I'm dealing with double digit multiplication. Now, one thing that is very important about double digit multiplication is that you must think about something called place value. And when you think about place value, I want to ask you guys quickly, who can tell us here, just quickly, who can tell us what is place value? When I speak about place value, what am I talking about? What do we mean when we speak about place value? Just by a show of hands, what is place value? What do you mean when we speak about place value? What is place value? Just can quickly raise your hand or in the chat tell me what's this, what is place value? What is place value? What do you mean when we say place value? What is place value? What do you guys understand from place value? Yeah, anyone can just raise their hand, and then we have a conversation to say what is place value. Hello.
Sir.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. And how are you, sir?
I'm good. So what is place value?
Place value is thousands, hundreds, tens, and units.
All right. Anyone else with another description of what is place value? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Can you give us your explanation or definition of place value? What is place value?
Place value is like numbers that you sometimes use, like for like hundreds, tens, units. Like
All
for
right.
example.
No, continue. I think I could
Like
continue.
727. You just when you writing it, you have to put 7 for the hundreds. You put 7 H, and then you for the 20 you put 2, and then you put a 10, and then
All right.
for the 7.
All right. I get you. Let me put it in that was a super explanation. I get what you mean. That was a super explanation, but let me just break it down. Place value is, if we're looking at a number, numbers are digits. Né? Any number is a digit, right? It has digits. So when you show numbers, like for example, if we look at 83, it is an 8 and a 3 next to each other. It's a digit of 8 and 3 next to each other. But when we think about place value and the value that each number has, 3 means number 3 and the 8 means 80. So that is place value. That when we're looking at digits, for example, if you look at 5,600, as digits is just 5600, right? But when we're looking at place value, we know that the 5 here is 5,000. It's not 5, it's 5,000. The 6 here is 600. And here there's no tens or units because 00. That's why that is place value. So whenever we're going now, because at first when you do just a quick single digit multiplication, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, we don't really bother ourselves with place value. But now when we come here to double digit, 3-digit multiplication, now we need to be bothered about place value because now it becomes very important. Why? When I'm now starting to multiply with the 4, I'm not just multiplying to 3 and 8. I'm multiplying to 3 and 8. When I'm multiplying here with a 7, I'm not just multiplying with a 7. I'm multiplying with a 70. The 70 is going to 3 and 80. That's why if you look here on the side, on the right-hand side, yeah, let me see. Yeah, it's going to be on your right-hand side. That I've got 3 times 4 is 12. Then 4 times here is what? 80, because we're multiplying what? 80. Here we're multiplying with 3, unit 3. But here we're multiplying with an 8 in the tens place, which is 80. That's why 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 80 times 4 is 320. We go here. Now we're talking about the 70 that we're multiplying, right? The multiplier is being the 70. Then we say 70 times 3 is 210. And then 70 times 80 is 5,600. So the important part is that place value helps us multiply something according to its value so that we have a right answer. That's why here, if we use this method, at the end of the day, we just add 5,600 plus 320 plus 210 plus 12 gives us what? 6,142. Right. So now we come this side, the one I wanted to speak about. And I say this. Right. 4 times 3 is what? 12. So I put a 2. The digit 2, I carry 1. And then I say 4 times 8 is what? 32. Right? But it's an 80, right? But it's fine. 4 times 8 is 32. Plus 1, 33. We keep it as it is. Right? 332. 4 times 83 is 332. Then we move on now. We need to multiply with 70. And since now we're multiplying with 70, guys, we need to put something here called a placeholder. A placeholder says that when I'm multiplying with this digit 7, I'm not just multiplying with any ordinary 7. I'm dealing with a 70. When I'm multiplying with this digit here, I'm dealing with 70. I'm not just multiplying with any ordinary a 7 that you can find, or let me rather say just the unit 7. I'm actually dealing with 70. So I put 0 here as a placeholder to say whatever comes here, it was multiplied with something in the tens place. Why? In the placeholders are like this. You've got 1 0 for a placeholder of 10, right? Because tens always have 1 0 behind them. Placeholders of hundreds have 2 zeros, which would be the third row. But we're not dealing with anything in 100, so there's no third row. And now you find yourself saying, okay, fine. Since now I put the 0 here, I start the multiplication. 7 times 3 is what? 21. Put the 1, and then I carry a 2. Then I say 7 times 8 is 56 plus 2, 58. Then I put the 5 and the 8, which is 5,800 and what? 5,810. I add these two together, I get 6,142. So what's important here is understanding place value. And when you're multiplying with just an ordinary, because remember that here, what we're using here is what our concentration on is how do we multiply the multiplier here, or how are we multiplying the multiplicate by the multiplier. So we're very active here with the multiplier so that we keep and respect it and respect the place values within the multiplier. So when we're multiplying, we get the answer that we want. We don't end up making a mistake. All right, we don't end up making a mistake. Let me check the time. All right, let us go to write this down quickly. I'll give you guys a minute to write down this one quickly. Then I'll give you guys a chance to do one example. And then we get to speak to each other so that we are able to understand. Right. So that we're able to understand. So quickly write this down for a minute. Then we're going to do one example. You guys, I'll give you time to do one example. And then closer to the time, I show you guys your homework. And then I'm going to just touch on multiplication again tomorrow. I feel that we must touch on it tomorrow. But if you guys have understood, then we can move on to division. But if not, then we will go to multiplication again tomorrow so that I can ensure that I've like literally stuck it into your brains, that you guys have understood it completely, because what's important here is to understand. So you've got a minute, quick minute, or let me just say 2 minutes to write this down. Quick 2 minutes to write this down. And then now we're almost at the finish line. We've got about 10 minutes left. We've got about 10 minutes left. So let's work together, guys. Let's work together. We've got about 10 minutes left. So quickly write this down, and then I'll give you guys a quick example to do, and then we'll talk about it after you guys do it. So quickly have this down, and I can show you the example that I want you guys to try on your own. Right, good. So that we can talk to say, whether do you guys understand? And if you have understanding, then it's awesome. Then it's awesome. 1 minute left. 1 minute left. 1 minute left. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Quickly just jot it down. If you can't jot everything down, this video will be available on YouTube, and you can just maybe write this one quickly so that you guys can have some time to do an example. And then after you guys get the time to do an example, I will show up the homework. Then yeah. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time up. I hope you've all written it. I would like to go to the example now. There's an example that I'll give you guys. Just quickly try this one. Yeah, this one. Quickly try it on your own. I'll give you guys 3 minutes to do it. 3 minutes have started. 3 minutes, try this one on your own and see whether you get it, you don't get it. Like, try it on your own. Yeah, let me just jot down the 3 minutes. Yes, there we go. 3 minutes on. Please, guys, try this one on your own. Try this one on your own. We have about 6 minutes left of our lesson. So please, let us try this one on our own so we can have a discussion about it. So we can have a discussion about it. So we can have a discussion about it. Try this one on your own. Try it, try it, try it. If you are done, tell me in the chat when you are done writing this one. So if you're done, you can tell me in the chat. So try it on your own. See whether do you understand it, don't you understand it. Try it on your own. See if you're able to you're able to get what I was trying to bring to you guys, so that I can know to say, do we do it again tomorrow or not? So just try it on your own. No calculators, please. No calculators, please. Please, please, no calculators. Run away from using a calculator. I know it's very tempting. It is. It's nice to use a calculator. It doesn't need you. It doesn't force you to do it on your own. But please stay away from a calculator. Please stay away from the calculator. Please try this one quickly, guys. Please try this one quickly. Just know that this video will be on YouTube. In case you wanted us to go back on something and we had finished it. So this video will be on YouTube for you guys. So you can pause while you're watching the video. You can pause and be able to write whatever we were going through or writing down, right? So the video will be on YouTube. Just try working this out. Just try working this out. Please try. If you see that you made a mistake, then it's good. Mistakes are good. Why are mistakes good? It helps us to see whether do we understand or don't we understand, and what should we do to improve on our mistakes. So if you make a mistake, it's a blessing. As I say, it's a blessing. It's a blessing if you make a mistake. So check your answer. Make sure your answer is correct. Please do that. Please make sure your answer is correct. Let me check on your time. You've got a minute left. Please, if you make a mistake, check. If you make a mistake, check and see what don't you understand. And so that we can have a discussion about it and see, okay, maybe this is not clear enough. I need help in this department. It's fine. Where I'm here that we can help each other and move quite right along. Right. Yes, we've got about 3 minutes left of the entire lesson. So 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Right. Let us go to, let me see who got it right. Can anyone who got it right raise their hand quickly and explain to us how they did it? Whoever got the answer right, raise their hand quickly and explain to us how they did it. How did you actually get the answer? Who got it right? So whoever got it right can explain to us how they actually got the answer. You can just notify me in the chat if you got it right, so that you can explain to me how you got the answer. What method did you use to get the answer? Because the answer is 4,896. How did you get the answer? Who got it right? All right, I've got one person. Hello. How are you? Can you be very, very, very quick, because you have 1 minute.
So I said 72 times 68 equals to 4896. Then I said 4896 divided by 68 gives me
very fast.
72.
Slow down a bit, and then yeah, you can explain. Just try and explain now again. Just a bit slower.
I said 72 times 68 equals to 4896. Then 4896 divided by 68 equals to 72.
All right. So that's how you got the answer. You just did this method over here. Right. He muted himself. All right, it's fine. Quickly write this down. Just write this part down here. This one here, quickly, guys, so I can show you homework. We're going to do it again tomorrow. What I'll tell you, all you needed to do is make sure that you kept to the place value. Let me use explaining this method. 8 times 2 is what? 16. So I write the 6, I carry 1. Please write this down while I explain. I would carry 1. Then 8 times 7 is 56 plus 1 is 57. I'll put it down there. Then I say, I respect, because we're dealing with the multiplier. I respect the place value and I put a 0 as my placeholder. I put the 0 as my placeholder. Then I say that. I remove all other things that I carried. Then I say 6 times 2 is what? 12. It's 12, carry 1. 6 times 7 is what? 42 plus 1 is 43. I add this one to this one. I add 572 to 4,320. I get 4,896. Quickly write this down, guys, so I can show you your homework. Quickly write this down. We've got like 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Good. Now we're left. Let me show you your homework. Let me give you your homework. Here's your homework. Just write number 1 up to 5. And we are done. What we'll do is that tomorrow, because now I feel that it's important that we do this lesson. Tomorrow, what we're going to do, we're going to do some practice, right? Based on multiplication. I was going to touch on division. Division can wait for Thursday. So tomorrow, what we're going to do, we're going to touch on multiplication again, right? We're going to touch on multiplication again. So just write number 1 to 5 in the last 3 minutes we have of the lesson. So we're going to touch on multiplication again. You can just write number 1 up to 5. You can write up to 10 if you are able to, or take a screenshot if some of you take a screenshot, but those who are stuck on writing it down, you can write it down quickly. And that would be these are your homework questions. So please, guys, please, make sure that you practice. Here's the practice. Here is it. So I've given you questions, practice them. Please take the time to practice them. Take the time to actually find yourself busy practicing. We will leave multiplication for, no, we're going to leave division for Thursday, because I was going to do division tomorrow, but because I want to make sure you guys understand, I will do multiplication tomorrow again. And then we're going to try and do more examples so that we are actually together. And once we're actually together and that you guys have the skill that I want you to have, I'll be very happy. Just make sure, guys, that always in your mind when you're doing multiplication with 2-digit numbers or 3-digit numbers, place value, place value, place value, place value, place value. Always in your mind, know that here I'm multiplying with a 70, or here I'm multiplying with a 30, or you must keep that in your mind. Then you stay away from making the mistakes. Place value, place value, place value, place value. When you're multiplying here with 26, there's a part where you're multiplying with 6, and there's a part where you're multiplying with 20. So place value, place value, place value, place value. If you have that in mind, super. Super fantastic and awesome. Guys, then that is it from me. I love you all. Stay